and all that. So you have to think like them if you have to understand this chapter today. So it is I think definitely it will be somehow uh, will not attract your attention a lot, because you will find it a little bit dry. And I write it down this. so, so this is the thing. So uh, this is chapter in which we will be studying some of the new terms, and regarding hybridizations, and regarding that what do you mean by the resistance by the plants, what do you mean by the effect of the pesticides and herbicides, whatever you are using over there. Okay. And I think you all are aware of the type of the plants like herbs, shrubs and trees and all that, and what is the basic difference between them. Definitely you are when you are learning about the terms like herbs and shrubs and the trees, the first picture comes in our mind is about their size. That herbs are the smallest one, the shrubs are the one who is in between, and trees are the tallest one. Definitely that is the good significant difference is there. But you have some uh, exceptions also when you are reading all these things. So that should be aware and aware of all these things. Okay. And way you study your social studies, I think somebody's mic is open. Please, okay, switch it off because disturbance is coming. Is it that? Yeah, fine. So let's see that the way you study your social sciences, in that you study that economics part and all that, the way like demand and supplies and all that you study. These types of words are also there in this chapter, so that you have to keep in mind, because ultimately the purpose of the agriculture is to make the demand available to the public, that is whatever food is being produced by the farmers, it should be available in the markets so that it can reach to the population easily, and it should be uh, easily and very in a very smooth manner. It should be that process should run. Okay. So that part you have to understand. So basically, when we study about the food resources, why so many things, why everybody is running behind the agriculture, why everybody is concentrating on the agriculture part very much, the reason is that the all the nutrients, whatever the nutrients you are obtaining, it is coming from your diet, that is your food. Okay. Your diet consists of everything: your breakfast, your lunch, your brunches, your snacks, and your dinners, and all that. So, whatever your schedule of eating is, ultimately your goal is to obtain the nutrients from it. Okay. And nutrients are basic nutrients when come up our in our mind, and they are carbohydrates, then you have proteins, then you have lipids, that means fats. You can write fats even. And rest of the other things like your some of the metals and all that, that you have to mention. Uh, Basically, these things are very required in very nano quantities in our body, but they are very important for the metabolism of our body. So the thing is, ultimately food is the source of the nutrients, and we think when we think about the food, definitely first thing that comes in our mind is nothing but the plants. Okay. uh, no matter either you are vegetarian or non-vegetarian, any case, first thing when comes in our mind is about plants, vegetables, or cereals, pulses, and all that. So that part you have to imagine. And the thing is, when we talk about agriculture, when we talk about the food resources, you may have heard in your house or at your home that from your grandparents or from your either from your parents, that nowadays the quality of the vegetable is not as good as it was previously available in their time. Have you heard it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is a very common practice nowadays. You can and common thing you can discussion that occurs at our home. And the thing is, you can see the difference in the quality. I definitely understand that you cannot have the veggies from their duration, but the thing is, nowadays you can see that if you keep the vegetables even in the refrigerator, still they get deteriorated, or they get they got stale and all that, some smell comes out from them, or they get dried up, they get means they have some mushy type of growth on them after some duration. That type of thing can be seen. That means longer storage duration is not suitable for these vegetables and all that. So these things is not a good sign for the thing which you are eating. Okay. So the thing is, because the standard of the agriculture is definitely gone to the extent where the population is too high in our country. The population, if we talk about, it is too high, and the people who were involved in directly in the agriculture, that means farmers and the agricultural land and all that, is continuously decreasing, because nowadays nobody wants to be a farmer. Am I right? Because I think if you have a class of 60, if you have a class of 40, ask anybody of any of one of the your friend or your classmate that what you want to be. You I think you will never get an answer called farmer from anybody. And I don't think so the all those who are present right now in this class, anybody wants to be a farmer after studying. Do you have that picture in your mind?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, definitely no. Because the thing is, because farmer, because when you are studying, uh, the thing farmer is not considered as a occupation first of all. Okay. And no matter agriculture is the basic occupation of our country, but as a farmer nobody wants to be that particular individual. Another thing, land is not available. If somebody wants to be a farmer, uh, for them the land which has to which should be there for the agriculture purpose, it is not available for those who are living in the urban areas. So that part is very difficult to imagine, and it is not some anywhere in the whole scene. So this is what you have to think, that population is being increased, but the people who are involved in agriculture and the land involved in the agriculture for the purpose of agriculture is continuously decreasing. So that is the very important part of this chapter. And so we face so many problems with this. Nowadays, natural disasters are too common for our country, like floods and all that. You can see on the news, on the television. I think out of 12 months, 8 months we are having the natural disaster. Either it may be a flood, it may be a drought, it may be something like earthquake or something else. So till 8 months we face that situation. So that is a difficult part to handle or to manage the things, because uh, everything that the funds and all that are being involved in these things only. So how you can incorporate the things, good things for the agriculture for this? So that is what you have to understand. And uh, so basically, the purpose of this chapter is to make you understand that how the crop, when you have the crops, when you are doing the agriculture, how this particular crop thing has to, that variety has to be improved, its production has to be improved, and after doing everything, it should be the management regarding its protection, its storage and all that, its transportation, how the everything has to be managed, that thing you have to understand in this chapter. So let's see that basically when we talk about the crops in our country, like wheat, rice, millets, bajra, barley, and all that. These are the basic food, staple food for every people. Okay, and vegetables are definitely the subsidiary part of our diet. That means it should be there in our diet compulsorily. If you can't have them 2 times a day, the people cannot have them 2 times a day. Definitely, they make sure that at least in at one duration they should have that in the diet. So vegetables are included in this. So I think you are aware of the kharif crops and the rabi crops. Are you aware of it?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I think in class 7th and 8th you may be studying that thing. So kharif are nothing but the crops which are grown in the rainy season, that which starts from the early June to late month of October and all that. And then you have rabi crops which are grown in the winter season. From I think after Diwali, the process starts basically from November and all that, and it continues up to the March or April. That means nearby that Holi or Lodi comes. Till that it is being continued. So rainy and winter season are very important for these crops. Okay. So climate is very important, and basically the India is blessed with a very good climatic condition. We have seasons, we have change in the temperature, we have the weather condition which are very much suitable for the agriculture and all that. Definitely nowadays pollution and the duration of the season has been changed. Like still it is the month of October, and I think you must be feeling that still the summers are going on. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You still feel the weather is not showing the drop in the temperature yet. That means in morning and evening there may be the possibility, but the midday is same as the way it occurs in the month of June, July, or like that. So the duration of the summers are being continuously increasing, and it is all because of deforestation and all that. So all these are reasons are there. So climatic condition are very important for the crops, because that is the only thing which decides that which type of crop has to be grown in which season. Then temperature is very important in when we talk about climate conditions. Temperature is playing a very important role. Let me give you one example that you must have seen the peas, green pea you have seen. I think they will be start coming after end of this month. I think they must have started in the market also somewhere. Green pea, have you have that in your diet? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
just observe. I don't know, are you involved in that your with your mother or not? But the thing is, the quality of the pea. will be right now will not be that much good. But when you are having the month of November or December, at that time, the green pea which is coming to your home will be suddenly looking very beautiful and very sweet in taste, and the quality will be suddenly, it will be very nice. And after finishing this month of December and January and all that, when the winters are ending, at that time you can see that when the green pea is coming to your house, when you open that pod of it, and you can see that seeds are being shrinked in size, or you can see some white growth in the pods. If you see the way the pods are open, and you must have seen that peas are like this. On one side of the pod you can see some white fungal growth like this. In the month of when the winters are ending, I don't know you are involved in the kitchen or not, but this time you can see this. That means the temperature will be working for this green pea very much, because in the beginning of the winter, the pea will be starting it's that means it is coming to the market, and in the beginning they are just maturing. So that particular temperature whatever they are desiring for, it is still not there. But after November and December, in the month of these, like November December, they have a good temperature what in which they are so very happy. At that time when you see the pod, it is filled with the seeds, so much tightly filled, it must be bursting out the seeds, like that condition you can see. But at the end of the season you can see some white growth inside the pot. Just it's a just common observation you can have at your home. So you can see that that is how the temperature works out for them. Okay, so this is what the condition is. Then other thing is very important for the plants is photoperiod. Okay, photoperiod is nothing but exposure to sunlight. Is very important for the plants, because photo period is the thing, it's the duration which decides the flowering in the plants. And I think you are aware of it that if the plant is flowering, then only it will be fruiting in future. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If flowers are there, then only the fruit you will get the fruits. So that is a very important part, because exposure to the sunlight will be deciding that which type of flowers, what quality of flowers, and how many flowers will be developing on the plant. Now let me give you one another common example that you must have seen, or I don't know you have that type of observation or not. But now develop that ability to see your surroundings, because biology you will learn like that only. Okay, I think you must have seen the trees on the roadside, or the trees which are being there nearby your house, where street lights are being fixed, where you have a big halogens, and they are these street lights are on for the whole night, and the plants are exposed to that particular yellow light continuously at the when it should be completely dark for the plants. uh, at that time you must have seen that the color of the leaves of those trees is little bit different as compared to the plants which are completely in dark. Have you seen that?
No, ma'am, never
No,
observed.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do this thing, or if you have gardens nearby your house, or if you have trees nearby your house, like mango tree or something, the tree which should, the one in which you can observe, because right now you are starting this thing. So you have to make out first of all the tree which you can identify easily. Definitely I think mango tree is the one you can make out the difference easily. Okay, so what you have to do is just observe that I'm just giving you the example for this photo period. Suppose you have a street light somewhere like this, and you have a big tree surrounding this region. Okay, and this light is being focusing continuously giving the exposure and to this part of the tree. Okay, suppose. So if you see that the color of the leaves and the size of the leaves, or some, you can see if this part is in completely dark region and this part is in complete exposure to the light, there you can see the difference here only. Okay, in one plant only you can see the difference. So that you can see that color, uh, the thing is aging, that means yellowing of the leaves, and the maturation of the leaves, the size of the leaves is bit different to this part as compared to this. Another thing you can see that I think uh, nowadays you must have seen that mangoes are coming in very odd season. I think watermelons are the good examples. Actually watermelons are the fruit which should come when there is a means the when the summer is at peak, when you have a heat wave in your city, when you have the temperature which is completely soaring, you cannot come out of your house. Watermelon are the fruits that should come in the market when the summer is at the peak. But nowadays I think watermelon is available for the whole year. Have you seen it?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, the reason is photo period, exposure to the sunlight. They are making this differences in the agriculture process because the demand is so much for that particular fruit. So you can
Ma'am,
see
so
the
is it
difference.
good?
uh, yes, pardon, can you repeat your question please?
Ma'am, so is it good to consume those watermelons that are made by changes in the agriculture?
I don't think so, because the first thing, that is what we will see that when you talk about the variety of that particular watermelon, which is coming for the whole season, I think the taste uh, 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 you are having in the winter season is completely different, and the sweetness of that particular fruit is something artificial, because many of the vendors are just injecting the sucrose and all that in the fruit so that it will be sweeter in taste. It will be very artificial. I don't think watermelons are so sweeter in taste. I don't think so. Okay, so they have they are loaded with the chemicals and all that. So uh, if you ask the vendor, they will not tell you these things, but this is the case, that is what is happening. Okay, so I was just explaining you, just hold on, my mic is being disturbed. Okay, I was just telling you that exposure to the sunlight will make the difference, uh, uh, I very mm, remarkable difference for the plants. So uh, basically what happens that for if this particular tree, if this is a mango tree and it is being exposed to the sunlight, this artificial light continuously, then you can see sometimes that this region will be flowering at in the when it should not be there, and this part flowering is still little bit later on, naturally when the duration will be there. So this part will be flowering, the duration for the flowering will be different for this part in comparison to this part. So that is how the photo period is being changed for this particular plant. Okay, so because plant doesn't know either it is a sun or a artificial light. What happens to the plant is it is being exposed to the light ultimately. and if it is a halogen and all that, it is much more similar to the sun. So plants are very innocent. They don't understand what is artificial, what is natural. They are just performing their function the way the light is available to them. Okay, so flowering will be very much difficult part for this particular tree. That will happen. Okay, and if you see this, that if you go to your once your schools will reopen, in your labs you can just ask your biology teacher in the school that, ma'am, can you show us the difference experiment regarding the exposure to the light on the plants. She will definitely show you the things. They have some arranged apparatus and all that, or they have some charts or regarding that. So they will show you that how the exposure to the sunlight can make the difference to the plant. Okay, so that you have to understand. And if you have a good start observing the things are just nearby you only, so that you will understand that wherever the street lights are there, the plants are in the sight of those plants are in quite they are, you will feel pity on them. Okay, so because you are disturbing their natural cycle, you are disturbing the things for them. So that's why it is being advised that wherever the plantation is very is uh, good in number, at that location the street light should not be kept open for the whole night. That is why gardens should not have the lights open or on for the whole night, because they are disturbing the photoperiodism of the plants. But that is not completely possible for all. But this is the thing, this is the picture, it is happening nowadays. Okay, so let's see, we will study about the three things regarding this. So main topic for the that is for the crop is crop variety improvement. This is what you have to study. Then you have to study about crop production improvement. Then you have to study about crop protection management. Okay, so this is the three topics we will be concentrating a lot. And I think these things, if you are just having a thought in your mind that in future if you are interested in the field like BSc in agriculture or research in the agriculture field, then this will give you a good idea regarding your future prospect. Okay, so let's see for the first one, that is crop variety improvement. I will write down as a short form. Will it be okay for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is what we have to see here, that crop variety improvement. Now see, when we talk about variety, we have to think of so many things. That means from physical appearance to the taste of that particular crop. We have to think everything when we talk about the improvement in the variety. So very important is that its physical appearance, because if it will not look good, whatever crop is being produced by the farmers, if it is doesn't look good, nobody will buy them, nobody will select them in the market. I think your mothers are very good at it. You may have seen your mothers when they are choosing the vegetables, either it's tomatoes or potatoes or onions, anything. No matter, they have to buy them in bulk, they will select one by one, and they make sure that everything whatever they are selecting, it should have a good looks first of all. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is what you have to see, that appearance is very important. And let me give you one thing, example for this, like I think when you are going for the potatoes, because definitely potatoes are the thing which are taken in the bulk, 1 kg 2 kg, like that you are buying them. Okay, so when it's when regarding when you talk about your mom, she will be definitely going to buy something which is very good. But when you are out in the market, then what you will do, so you have to see that the potatoes should be properly round or oval. That is what the shape for the potatoes. Okay, but if it is something like this, if some nose like structure is coming out of these potatoes from somewhere, then I think you will, if you see in the market, then these potatoes, I will just giving the random number over here, that there may be the possibility that these potatoes are 60 rupees per kg, and there may be the signboard that these potatoes are 40 rupees per kg. Okay, very much similar size and all that. The only difference is that this nose like structure is arising from these potatoes. Okay, so definitely if it is your mom, she will be saving her money and she will go for this one. Okay, and she must be thinking, if everything is available at the low cost, why to buy this? Okay, so definitely she will be opting for this only. But the thing is, just let her know that the potatoes having this type of structure, they are all virus infected. Okay, they are infected by the virus, and that's why they develop these nose like structures. Okay, now just understand that these viruses are very much oriented to the plant and very much oriented to the crop of potatoes only. They are not, they will not cause any defect in your body. If you are eating them, nothing will happen to you. Okay, but the thing is, overeating, the nutrition quality of, because of this reason will be deteriorated, and you are paying money, but still it will not give you that much good thing, good nourishment. Okay, so that is what you have to tell your mom, that if you are going to the market, just look out for this thing, that this definitely this sign is very important, but you have to see the quality also. Okay, so this just you should avoid them. Okay, so this is what the physical appearance, if we say, very important. Then another thing is very important is about taste. If taste is not good, smell is not good, nobody is going to buy it. Okay, so that is very important. And then definitely the nutrient qualities in the crops, that is very important for us. So everything, when you are, when we talk about the variety improvement, the scientists who are working on the agricultural projects and all that, they see that all these things should be considered when they are improving some varieties. Okay, so how the varieties can be improved in the labs, because scientists are not going to the fields for agriculturing or plowing the fields and all that. Definitely they are going for the studies, but they are not doing the agriculture over there, they are not doing the farming over there. Okay, so what they have to do in the labs, they have to hybrid the things. I think all of you are aware of hybriding and all that. Okay, so hybrids, how they are working for you and all that. So there are so many methods for breeding, and breeding are of one. When we talk about breeding, then the thought, it should be very much clear that when you have to breed the things, they the two things whatever you are selecting, they are from two different genetic conditions. Very important thing regarding breeding. Okay, that means their genetic profile should be bit different from each other, then only you can breed them. Okay, Now, what do you mean by genetic profile? That means if you take the potatoes from the same agricultural field, all of them are same. So they have the genetic profile very much similar to each other. So there is no use of in breeding them. Okay, so that means you have to select something which is that means crop should be same, but genetically they should be different. Like you may have the potato one from India and one from somewhere from South Africa and all that. So their genetic profile is a little bit different because of their environmental conditions and all that. So you can try to breed them and you can obtain the new variety. Okay, so that is how you have to proceed. So we have three types of breeding when we follow this method. That is, first one, if we choose the varieties, like then you have inter varietal breeding. Okay, and if you choose some different species, then you have inter specific breeding. Or if you choose some different genus, then what you are having intergeneric breeding. Okay, now I think you are all aware of genus and species and all that. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, scientific names are like that only. First one is a genus and last one is a species name. Okay, so I will just give you, I will take one example. Yes, anything?
Ma'am, what is genus?
Okay, fine. Let me give you one example, then you will understand regarding what do you mean by genus. Okay, so first of all, are you aware of the scientific names?
Ma'am, some.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
but not them all.
Okay, give me one.
Ma'am.
Panthera leo. Ma'am, Panthera leo.
Okay, you are going for animals. I am talking about plants.
Magnifera indica.
Okay, very good. Magnifera
Yes,
indica.
ma'am.
Can you give me the common name for it?
Ma'am, mango.
Mango.
Very good. Okay. So see here that when you talk about the names like this, okay. Okay. Then you must have seen that you are writing them like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this first name, okay, first name is giving you, somebody has messaged me. Okay, just wait, I will see to it too also. Okay, so Magnifera indica is a scientific name for mangoes. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Ah. Okay, so Magnifera indica is a common. The common names comes as a mango. So Magnifera is a genus name for mango, and indica is a species. Now let me give you this. That species is a very specific type. That means this mango is coming from India. That is why it is the species which are obtained in the India. That is why indica is given, and genus because mangoes are coming from everywhere. So Magnifera is a genus name. The way you have your surnames and your proper name, this is how the genus and species is being there. So genus is nothing but the surname, your surname, sorry. and species is the name. This is how the plants are being named, or anything, if scientifically if they are named, then genus and species will give you the name for this particular plant or any other living organisms. Okay, so this is how it will work. Now I think you have studied something about taxonomy also, classification of the plants. Have you studied
Yes, ma'am.
chapter? In that you must have studied phylum, kingdom.
Class order.
In that, have you studied the definition of genus and species?
Ma'am, actually, in our school, we did not went so far. Before that, the deleted portions from CBSE came, and we stopped the chapter.
Okay, so when we will be studying diversity of living organism, then you will have the proper definition for that. Then you will understand that the whole hierarchy of the classification. Okay, so for this chapter, you just understand that this is the surname and this is the name. Okay, genus plays the role of the surname. The way you have so many surnames like Rao or something like that. Okay, Ghosh. So there are so many Ghosh in the Kolkata, I think in West Bengal. Okay, but they have the proper name with them. Okay, so this is how you have to understand right now. Just keep this in mind. So this is what you have to see. And if you go in this in regarding mangoes, if you go for the variety, we have so many varieties of mangoes in India. Okay, so you have Alfonso, you have another like the one. Let me take some like which is having the parrot-like nose. The that is also is there. Then you have one that is called Badam. All these are the varieties. Okay, they are all Magnifera indica, but they have some very proper variety with them. Okay, so let's see how this thing will be carried out, varietal, interspecific, and intergeneric. If I take up this, let me take this here somewhere. Okay, so first one, intervarietal breeding. Beauty. Just hold on. Okay, fine. Sorry, Vita. So, intervarietal breeding, let me see. Let me take one example. I think I will go for rice. Very easy to understand. Okay. Now, see this. When we talk about rice, then you must have heard about the so many brands available in the market, and the one which is very much desirable for everybody is this. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So this particular thing is sorry, this brand is very much desirable, and it is considered as a supreme. When you talk about rice, it is considered as a supreme one when you are selecting. Okay, and in this also you have so many type of options. So let me take up this. that I don't know if you have seen this, but they have rice have some numbers like basmati 716, basmati 732. These types of numbers are being given. Okay, now just see this, that name for the particular this crop of rice, genus and species is everything same. The change is there in their variety. That means species is basmati, and the variety is 716, 732. What do you mean by these numbers? You don't have to worry, but the thing is they are all are different from each other. Okay, now when you think about rice, then definitely the good qualities about it is it should have a long seed. First of all, it should have a good odor when you are cooking it. Okay, it should that means it should be cooked easily. Am I right with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is what are the good qualities. But I think you must have heard about the brown rice also.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Brown rice are very good in the nutritionally. They are very rich, very good for the diet, but nobody wants to eat it. I think if you go for the brown rice, they don't taste too good. That means you cannot eat them yes like for means for completing your appetite. You cannot have a stomach full of it. Okay, you will definitely go for 1 or 2 spoons or 4 spoons or 5 spoons, but after that you will say no, 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 I am happy with this only. Okay, so brown rice are nutritionally very rich. Let me take up this, and in this also basmati is there. Okay, in this also the variety is there, so nutritionally rich. So we have this type of quality in this also. Okay, so the variety is same. Let me say if 732 is coming from this and 716 is coming from the white one. Okay, so this have a long seed, this have good odor, and it can be cooked easily. But 732 is nutritionally rich. Okay, but the thing is it doesn't have a odor, and cooking is very much difficult for the brown rice. Okay, they are not cooked easily. So what you have to do as a scientist, when you are going for the agriculture process for them, then you have to do is you have to breed the flowers of these particular rice. Okay, these two rices you have to select and you have to breed them. Then what will happen? The new seed will come, 716 and 732 will give you a new seed which will be white in color, and it will be having a good odor, and it will be cooked easily, and it will be nutritionally rich also, nutritionally rich, and it will look good on your plate, on your that whole feature. So that is the thing. This is how the intervarietal breeding can be done. So you get the nutrition from this also, and you get all the good qualities which can be on the platter, so that everybody should go for it, for selecting it. That is how the intervarietal breeding can be done. Let me come further with the interspecific and intergeneric. You will understand it very easily. Okay, so next one is interspecific breeding. Okay, fine. So interspecific breeding, if I go, then I have to change the species over here. Okay, so is if I let me select the species of banana. Okay, so banana is something very favorite fruit for everybody because easy to eat and easy to dispose, and it fills your stomach very in a very quick way. So it's a good thing to good fruit, and very innocent one. So interspecific breeding, let me take that. If I go for the change in the species, the way like if one species comes from Chennai, that means South India, and one is coming from Haryana, okay, and North India, if it is coming. I think if you are been to the traveling or something, you may have seen that in South, the bananas are very small. They are basically yellow in color, okay, and too sweet in taste. Too much sweetness is there. While in Haryana, it is comparatively bigger in size. It is white, looks white, okay, and mild. They are not very much sweet, okay, mild sweetness is there. So the species are different, for both the bananas are different, okay, and definitely it shows a good size of seeds in them. If you peel them, bananas in the south, you can come up with the seeds in them, and they just look like the way you have the seeds in the vegetables, like which vegetable I will say, I think have you heard about uh, the parval? uh, I don't know which type vegetable you are
ma'am.
aware of. Parvals are there. So these
Yes, ma'am.
the seeds are so hard, or I think bitter gourd, the karelas, the seeds are too hard and too rigid. Same seeds are available in the south, bananas. So it is difficult to eat, and definitely if the people from the North India will go over there, they will not even touch them, okay. So what and these people, when they come over this place, they say that these bananas are fake, so they will not eat them. So it will affect the market. So what you have to do is, you have to go for interspecific breeding. You have to choose these different species, and you have to go for this particular breeding. Then what you will have, you will have a bigger quality from this side. White should be there, sweetness should come from this, and color should be avoided from this region, okay, and seed should be avoided from this region. This should be without seeds. So you want these qualities, you want bigger in size, you want them white in color, you want them without seeds, and you want them sweet, so that everybody can eat them, okay. So this is how interspecific breeding can be done. Understood this?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, because you are selecting the things from two different regions. They are of completely different species in nature. Okay. Now, if you talk about intergeneric, okay, intergeneric breeding. So let me say, if you change the genus of something, uh, suppose, let me take one thing. I think all of you are aware of custard apple.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It is very difficult to eat, because I think when I eat it, my mouth gets the pain, and that's why I avoid it, basically. Or if I go, it's better I go for custard apple ice creams and all that, so that I can finish them easily. Okay, so difficult to eat, different genera, different plant, and let me come something. Uh, with this custard apple, uh, some easy fruit we will have. Then let's see, mm, one which is having a good taste. Let me come up with this, that uh, banana
Ma'am,
only.
ma'am,
Okay.
this custard apple means atta, no?
Oh, I don't know this name. Sorry, beta. I think uh, in market it is named as Sitafal or something like that. Uh, have you seen it? It has so many seeds in it. Black seeds are there, and the pulp is milky white, something like that is there.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Seen.
Just Google it. You will have the picture, and you will know that whatever in your local language what is.
Ma'am, in Bengali it is said ata.
Yes, dear.
Ma'am, in Bengali it is said ata.
Okay, in Bengal. Sorry. I don't know Bengali, dear. Okay, I don't know that language. I'm very sorry for it. So thank you for telling me that. Now I am aware of this name. Probably the thing. Some local languages sometimes is not easy for me. Okay, so let's come up with this. Definitely, those are completely different fruit. Okay, completely different fruit, but the taste of the custard apple, the nutrition and all that you will obtain from custard apple only. Definitely banana is not going to give you that. Okay, the only quality banana is having is a seedless thing with more pulp. Am I right this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what we have to do when scientists will go for the breeding, what they will think that let's do the breeding for them, and then this custard apple will have its taste, the quality of the pulp, and the thing is, if I say nutrition value. So I want everything from the custard apple. Only thing which I don't want are the seeds, and I want more pulp when I'm eating custard apple. So what I have to do is I have to breed them with the banana. So because bananas are having this quality, so let's breed them, and you may have a new fruit. Let me name it kasnana. Fusion of these. Definitely this will not be in market. Okay, it's just my imaginary thing. So you, in that you will have a taste of custard apple, you have more pulp from the custard apple, you have nutrition quality, and definitely it will be seedless, so easy to eat and easy to market in market. It should be easily sold out so that people can buy it and eat them easily. Am I right with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
like this, you can do the breeding with so many plants, and you can name them like this. So this is how it comes up. So you can have them with the sapotas and all that. I think sapotas you are available. Chiku. Okay, so they are also. I think the sapotas are very it is very good fruit, but nobody buys it easily. I think it doesn't look good, or its color is not very much welcoming or something like that is there. I don't know why people don't buy them. Okay, so we can do something for that sapotas also. Okay, we can change the color, we can have do something for that appearance, because they look they just look like potatoes. So I think they are very much ignored by the population. So that should not be
What is
done with the
sapota?
poor fruit. Okay, yes dear.
Ma'am, what is sapota?
I think you are aware of this fruit, chikus.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
in English they are called sapotas. Okay, so this is how the
Yes.
breeding can be done, and this you can go for mangoes also. In mangoes what you want is the seed should be small, the pulp should be more, the odor should be good, the color should be good for the mangoes, so that it can be available in the market easily. So that is what you have to do for the breeding. So those who are researching in the field of agriculture, they are doing these things only. I either go for varietal, they go for specific, or they go for the generic breeding. But this thing is not as easy as it is written over here. Okay, you may there may be the possibility that if you do it 100 times, only 2 to 5 times you will get the success. So that is what the success rate is. That is why it takes time in the agricultural field. Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if in the lab this is the success rate, so you cannot do that on the agricultural field. That is the thing you have to see. Okay, because field is something which is commercially benefiting to the farmers, so you cannot experiment on them directly. So this is what the condition is. So that is how it can be performed. Then you have we have time. Okay. We have some little bit of time. You have the classes from the schools right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I will not go for the further one. One more is there for the breeding. We will do that next time. Okay. So don't worry. So till now, is it clear for you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. So have a good day and have a good week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Bye,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Have a nice
Thank
day.
you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am.